And alright, it says it's recording. So go back in here. Yeah, I wanted to show this because it's, Christmas time in Titan Quest. Alright, so let's back into it. So turn my volume back up so I can hear it. Alright, good. Yeah. And a little bit of, not that it matters, but this, the other recording I did just a few hours ago. Basically had dinner and did a few other things in between. I gotta get done so I can get on to other things. Though, I think I will do one thing. I didn't like how quiet that was, especially since, just looking at the waveforms, it looked really quiet. And especially since I have the ability to just go in and edit the audio afterward. In fact, that's what I did. Using the same stuff, same filters, same process I use for the videos, the actual video recordings I do. Which is actually the reason why I don't have as much time this week. Because I need to do a bunch of those recordings. But yeah, it's kind of like the setup that I've got going for that loudness, normalization, and essentially noise gating with FFmpeg, and then using auto ducking to
You can't hold anymore.
Really? Huh. I didn't realize I'd build up that much. Geez, I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to get rid of. And yeah, the auto ducking, which is really nice. It's labeled as a filter. I don't remember in Audacity where it will just quiet down a one audio stream based on how loud the other audio stream, the next one, is. Alright.
Simonides, fine poet.
I promise at some point I'll actually start applying those. Alright, I wasn't too satisfied with how that was going. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, I use loudness normalization, which is an interesting thing to look up. Yeah, that stuff. Basically, loudness normalization is, I think it's that one that I wanted. Yeah. This one and this one. It takes into account psychoacoustics, so that, if you have a sound that is very brief, it can be very, very loud, and you don't notice it because of how brief it is. Whereas you can have something much quieter, but because it goes on for a long period of time, it sounds louder. Or you can also just have it where, based on the frequency, how high-pitched or low-pitched something is, it may sound louder or quieter than something else, even at the same amplitude. Same volume. Loudness normalization is meant to address that. And there are actually some broadcast standards set up on it. It's like you can't have a loudness above, I don't remember what the unit is, but it's like 19 or something like that. Why did that get picked up? Get away from me, I don't want that. I don't remember exactly what I used, but before that, because I currently have it set up so the mic track that is recorded is just completely unfiltered in OBS, and then I had used the, oh crap, what are they called? Oh, I don't remember the name of the filter in FFmpeg, but it's Compand, I think? Combination of compress and expand. because you can compress or expand the signal. Sometimes those are separate filters, compress and expand, but in FFmpeg it's combined, so they combine the name of it as well. It's really nice once I figured out how to use it, because I can have it set up where everything below a certain volume, well, certain amplitude, is just basically muted, and everything above a certain is amplified. So it lets me, because there is some noise from the audio interface that it just naturally has. They're just, the whole electronics have noise to them, kind of deal. And I just, have it set up so that it should remove that. Not always. And also there's some trail time, some lag time that messes with it. I think I can sell all of those, yeah. I'm just curious if any are green or blue. Doesn't look like it. So yeah, oh, I know where I am now. Right over there. It's right up there. Yeah. So right here is where I fought Polyphemus. Yeah. It took us that long to get around. Wow. But yeah, so I use that for basically the noise gating, and then I pass through the loudness normalization, because otherwise the noise itself gets amplified to go up to the loudness limit I've set. Do that on the mic, and then I do the auto ducking. Well, it normalizes up to -2 decibels, I think it is. And then the auto ducking in Audacity. Kind of wish I could do that all in FFmpeg, but that's not an option, so it has to load in there. But in a way, it's also fine, because sometimes I didn't for the previous recording, but sometimes if the recording's short enough or I just feel like it, I'll go in and clean things out. Because, like, I will sniff, and that will get picked up by the mic, or just other errant noises. I'll go in and remove those if I feel like it. I don't always feel like it, though. In fact, I tend not to, because it not only takes time, it's also means I have to hear my own voice, and I really dislike the sound of my voice. And part of that, it is just so different from what I hear from the vibrations that travel through my head. It is just very, very different. Yeah, I don't have any points. I do need to do something. Move my health regen. Maybe I will put the greaves. That's why I didn't get rid of them. Huh. That seems interesting. It's less damage though, but I want to try it. I want to try. Yeah, it's like chance for bonus damage or piercing damage. It's like that seems like that could be nice. It's probably gonna wrap around, so I guess I will keep going around this outside. It is slow though versus average. So yeah, I will go. I like having a higher attack speed. Alright, I see there's a cave and another respawn point up ahead. Hopefully the respawn point is because I'm getting near town or something. Nope. Looked like it isn't, or something. Yeah, I should probably put those greaves back on whenever I get back. Why did I pull this? Oh, yeah. I mean, that is nice. That is nice. But if I die, they're not so nice. See, I'm sure that's the way I need to go. But, you know, look at all this black. I have to get rid of this fog of war. And see, there's even a crypt here. Wow, 20. Yeah. I will keep the plus 12 damage. Sorry, plus 12 strength. And that's a trap. Nope, that didn't drop anything. I wonder what is actually in this tomb. Because it seemed like sometimes I do end up coming across some hero monster. When I'm in here, I just wonder if that's going to happen again. I mean, it hasn't been like that one stream when it was like just one hero monster after another after another. Only that offered strength. I would throw that on. Wow, that is a lot of armor. Yeah, I see him. I really do like this rune master. This rune's mastery. It just... because it's so simple. It's just, here, you get to do this extra stuff. At least how I currently have it built. I'm sure if I wanted to use more of those actual active abilities and be a lot more powerful. But it's like, this is good for me. You know, where my activity is more just controlling where I am and taking advantage of that. What the hell? Where did they come from? Huh. Alright. Yeah. Keep to what I had. See, in there, I would have expected, at least would have been nice if it was a hero monster. You know, now I'm also... Oh, yeah. But, so they do have... I don't remember the mythology, and I didn't look it up. But I want to say that there's something quirky about Medusa, and that she's not fully a Gorgon or something. I don't remember. She's not one of the mythological monsters I'm as familiar with. Now I'm trying to remember, was I actually on a stream when I started talking about some of the other monsters? Or was that just me thinking about it? Might have been just me thinking about it. How, in the mythology, in Greco-Roman mythology, the mother of monsters, Echidna, and father, Typhon, had so many monsters. And eventually Zeus ended up... Oh, see, now there is. There's a hero monster here. Had to, deal with them. And he left so many, I don't remember exactly how many, to still roam the earth. And he also left Echidna... Yeah, at least Echidna was alive. I don't remember about Typhon. Was alive and just buried under a mountain, basically. But still alive with the latest brood of new monsters. And Zeus decided to leave them so that the heroes of man could one day defeat them, and all but 2 of them were killed by Hercules, his own son. One was also Cerberus, who doesn't die, because he's kind of the guard dog of Hades. Yeah, so it was just kind of funny how that worked out. It's like, oh yeah, it's for future heroes of man. My son will do most of the work, though. Kind of cheating. But Bellerophon is who,
You have no more room. You have no more room.
defeated the other one, the Chimera. That's... Oh, wait. Can't get that. That's all I can do. And the way he did it was actually very clever. Bellerophon was the rider of Pegasus. And there's only one Pegasus in the mythology, by the way. Various things, including Fantasia, have it wrong. There's only one. Only one winged horse. And... Sorry, I'm just having to actually review these. That's at level 3. I may throw that into shared, or just otherwise hold on to it. He was the rider of Pegasus, and he decided that what he would do would be to take, because the Chimera would breathe fire, he decided to take a pike, so long spear, put a bunch of lead at the end. The reason is because when the Chimera tried to attack him then, it would... Oh, I do have... it would melt the lead, and it would then drip down into its gullet and kill it that way. It's actually very clever. But his downfall was, he then decided that he was so great a hero, he should fly up to Olympus. And yeah, Zeus didn't like that, sent a gadfly, which was one of the god's favorite things to use, to sting Pegasus, throwing Bellerophon, so Bellerophon fell to his death. But Pegasus was more or less spared, and was turned into the constellation. So yeah, that's the story of how the Pegasus constellation came to be named. Or technically how it came to exist, depending on if you want to believe that there was a being known as Zeus that arranged the stars in that way. That's a lot of intelligence there. It's interesting how much apparently reset. I don't think I was gone that long. Right, let's head out and keep exposing that fog of war. Expelling, I guess, would actually be a more correct term. At least these guys didn't come back. Yeah. Hang on. I need to remember just turn off Radeon Chill. Because, I mean, the game runs very well, but it's like, I should really just let it run at 60. Since I have VSync on, and it kind of needs it. It does weird things if it isn't. Wow, I gotta go all the way around this now. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Radeon Chill is a lovely and wonderful feature that I was so happy to see is now set up to be a blacklist instead of whitelist. But it just... This is one game where it's like, nah, really just using the in-game VSync so it's stuck at 60, or using the frame rate target control, you can just something to cap it at 60. That's how it should be. And it doesn't need to be allowed to go lower. And that reminds me, finally, it was this week. Yesterday? It was this week that I was recording it. That I'm recording this. That, my Part 2 series statistics came out, which was me trying to look at latency. I'm not sure if how sound any of that is, but it still is, I think, valuable data, which was to look at the difference between how long it took a frame to be rendered and how long it took to be displayed. Because those are two different things that PresentMon/OCAT both are able to capture. And it was definitely interesting to see how with some you would see that, oh yes, it would be rendered but then held for one frame, the length of one frame, and then for others where no, it actually varies. And I do want to go back to that, because now I have the ability to use Radeon Chill in Series SAM, where I'd been doing all the testing. I think also frame rate target control is now supported. I don't remember if it was or wasn't before. It might not have been. It might have been one of those things where it's like, well, it's there under DirectX 11, but not under Vulkan. Then also I want to go back and do some other testing, because it's like, oh, we have DirectX 12 now. Yeah, I'll do that at some point. That'll be in the new year, because I've got a few other things to do first. I like doing that stuff. I don't know. I don't see the numbers, so I don't know how much other people find that stuff interesting. But if nothing else, I like doing it because it gives me a reason to work more with R. So I'm getting better at making the graphs and making them look pretty and informative. But it's also just, it lets me work more with the data, so I figure out better how what some of these things mean. Because, being able to see things like, it was in this data. What was it? Where was it specifically, though? I don't remember. Way of seeing how frames were being discarded, and it just was having this weird effect. I know it's in there, I just don't remember where it is exactly. It's like how it was weird to see it in one spot. Yeah, because the latency numbers at times would come in as negative, which makes no sense. How could you have negative latency? But it was actually this weird quirk to how things were being discarded. And it's like that. Once I figured out what was going on there because of another set of data, when now it wasn't just all the points I collect together, but now I'm actually seeing how it's being shifted. Because there was just a guess that was not completely accurate, which it wouldn't be. Like once I saw that, it's like, oh, I know what's going on here, and just help me then know in general better how some of the systems work. Also, enhanced sync. Yeah, that's right. That's also something Adrenaline has now made work with more things, including Vulkan. And I do want to look at that some more because, I mean, I don't think Nvidia's changed it. I think I would have seen some news about it that had changed. With fast sync, it always needing to be a multiple that you're running at. So it would have to be, since I have 60 hertz screen, it would have to be at 120 or 180 or 240 hertz for it to actually work right. Whereas with enhanced sync, it doesn't care. It just works.
There. We've got a giant limos trapped here. Stay back. Well, the thing is,
We sent a scouting party out to the Athenian swamps. They haven't returned yet. I don't know what could possibly have delayed them.
Sorry, I was getting a drink of water while they were talking. Okay, well, let's kill this thing. Oh my god, I love this. Just so much fire damage. And it didn't drop a thing. You give me anything?
How did you do that? When you went in, I expected that limos to... Oh, my apologies, noble warrior. I mistook you for a common traveler.
Hey, I did get something. The other will just give me experience. That might be better than this. Nope. I'll still keep it over there. Might put it to some use at some point. Oh, that reminds me, because I was talking last time about that compact thing in Windows. Something else that's nice about it is sometimes you will have files that will like always report as being fragmented. If you scan, compacting the files will fix that, because sometimes the files just basically are going to be fragmented. But compacting it, it'll actually, if not remove it on its own, make it easier or possible for the defragmenter to do it. I noticed that with Paragon. Also, another game that compacts fairly well is Killing Floor 2, actually. But yeah, and whether or not something compacts well, because that's, a form of compression, depends on a number of things, the kind of data, and also if it's already been compressed. Basically, if something's been compressed once, it can't be compressed again. Not with much efficiency. I mean, you could re-encode if you're throwing out information, but if you want it to be lossless, which for just general data compression, you do need it to be lossless, yeah, you can't expect, to get audio smaller, video smaller. I mean, not unless it's something like, you can with H.264. That supports lossless. It's like, so you could take something like that and just, if it was encoded in one way that's inefficient, then encode in another way that is more efficient, but is lossless both ways. Yeah, so using X264, if you had something encoded in ultra fast that's lossless, and you had something, then you did it again at very slow or placebo, it would be much, much smaller. But it would be, the information it represents would be identical. Because they're both losses. And also they can be various compression levels, like with FLAC, which is the lossless audio codec. I think that goes... Well, I know in FFmpeg the encoder there goes between 0 and 12. And then PNG, because that is also lossless. I don't remember the scale that has. But, yeah, you can re-encode an image PNG and make it smaller if it was already smaller, but they can be other things that will impact that. I think I've seen some images that they were black and white, well, grayscale, and trying to compress them further didn't work. It actually made them bigger, so I'm guessing there was some palette optimization there that when I was trying to recompress them, it was not repeating that, so it happens. Yeah, like I know, because I can use FFmpeg to generate GIFs, and generating your own palette for that, oh my god, that can make such an impact in quality. Especially with GIFs, because GIFs have a limited number of colors that they will work with. Like the palette is only so big, so if you generate a palette specifically for it, you can get far better representation. I think GIFs are limited like 256 colors? Might be bigger. But the palette itself is just a square, with each pixel being a different color. Man, GIF is a weird format, because it is basically one that so many people recognize. It should be replaced, and there are replacements, but no one actually has... not one replacement has stood out enough to make it possible. Okay, what is that? Oh, okay. It on here it looked like it was an icon. It isn't. Yeah, so it's like animated PNG, APNG. That actually, I was able to make some stuff in that with that before. Firefox loaded it at the time. I don't know if it still would, with their change to the Quantum engine, or whatever the name of the new rendering engine is that's used in Firefox Quantum, version 57 and newer. It looked pretty good. The file size was good. I'm saying it looked better and was smaller, so overall more efficient than an identical GIF. There's also Google has a WebM, so their basic video codec that was more or less designed for pictures, but only Chrome supports that. There's things like that, but none have
You can't hold anymore.
been able to supplant it. Yes, okay. Delphi. Or Delphi. Actually not sure which way is correct. Yeah.
Blades! Oh, you again.
Yeah. Nah. One thing that is coming that is interesting to follow, even randomly and rarely, is AV1, which the hope, right? Yeah, is it will that right? Yeah, was that I could sell that. is that it will replace H.264 as the dominant video codec for all things internet, basically.
Come again. Do you know
And it does have some things going for it that will help. One is it just being not
Apollo's smile on you?
loaded up with license issues, which is the part of the reason why H.265 has not taken off on the internet, because the two bodies exist that hold all the IP for it. Whereas with H.264, one does, so you only had to go to one place to get all the licensing. With 265, two places have it. It's hard to negotiate with two parties like that. Yeah. Also, personally, 265 isn't that great. It very much seems like it was designed to be to be for low bit rates. But it has capability for high resolutions that you could add to 264 if you wanted. It's like it could be expanded. It did not originally support the resolutions it supports now. Like it supports up to 4096 by 4096, I believe. So 4K supports that, and it's like they didn't launch with that. They added that later. But yeah, and it's also for me, like when I record, it's like when I record at a high bit rate so that I have a high quality video. At a high bit rate, 265 doesn't have an advantage. It doesn't look any better. It's like, because I remember when I was first testing with it, I was recording losslessly. It was the same exact size file. It's like, it's lossless. It has no more or less information. The quality is not better or worse than 264, and the file size is the same. Why would I bother with it? And add on to that I can't, fewer things will work with it. Like, you can't upload 265. It doesn't make sense to work with 265 because it can't be ingested in as many places. It's like, no, not gonna do that then. But AV1 is supposed to not be like that. At least that is the hope, the target. But the question is, how quickly will it end up being adopted? Because 264 and 265 both have a lot of hardware support already present. And that's gonna do a lot to help that. Right. Here. Right, and more industry. That's still shot. For the obsidian help. I think that was 163. Yeah, I don't need to go back and sell stuff yet. But yeah, AV1 is supposed to be... Well, now I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know if it's going to be better at higher bit rates. Because like I was just saying, I'm not going to record in 265. It doesn't offer me benefits over 264. At the settings I use there. I don't know if AV1 will. AV1 is meant for... I know it is targeting streaming stuff. So that would be low bitrate quality. But I don't know about high bitrate. It might not be any better. We'll see. I think what I saw last time I looked, and it's been a while, was that the AV1 Alliance, I think is what it's called, wants to have that out next year. Well, sometime in 2018. But because of how many companies are a part of that group working on it, like AMD, Intel, Nvidia, they are all involved in it, and others. It might not take as long to necessarily see it deployed in hardware. So I mean, at first it'll likely just be software, which like what I'm using now, X264. That's a software encoder. But something like AMF, Advanced Media Framework for AMD, there's a software that uses the VCE video coding engine hardware encoder on modern AMD GPUs. Or NVENC, which is the NVIDIA encoder that has two parts to it. I don't remember the name of both of them. It's like, we may see those come to support AV1 sooner rather than later because of their involvement, but I don't know, I'm just guessing. Yeah, NVENC is interesting. It has two components to it. One is, well, probably more than two, but one gives it, like, is the actual encoder, but there's also one that lets it process the video for encoding. And what's important about that is currently, if, like in OBS, and this is something NVIDIA hasn't opened up, so other software like OBS can't take advantage of it. But Shadowplay / Share can take advantage of it. Is if you, when OBS is recording, even with NVENC, it still has to bounce the frame off of the CPU. But there's a part of NVENC that will actually basically achieve the same thing, but it does it all on chip, all on that specific ASIC. Application-specific integrated circuit, ASIC ASIC. Because I don't know how many people actually know what that means. But that's part of why NVENC is as efficient as it is, or can be. The heck was that achievement for? I'm gonna have to look. Let me do that. Puncture 4 enemies with 1 arrow. I did not have... wasn't using an arrow, but okay. I guess these technically count as arrows. Or they just haven't updated that achievement to be with a projectile, a physical projectile, instead of a magic projectile. Yeah, I'll have to go and sell stuff soon. But I'm pretty sure none of that is any good. It's not like any of this I want to hang on to. That. You know, it's interesting. The achievement for killing a shadow mirror that I got on the other account, other character, sorry, was to do it before leaving Greece. Was it, or leaving Athens? Yeah. A normal before leaving Greece. Okay. So I may still run into one on this. It's Dangerous to Go Alone is the one that's like, oh, you're so close to getting, according to Steam. It's just play with other people. Yeah, I don't have other people. I don't have friends. It's kind of a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... that might... Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm not sure where that went. Oh, that's such a satisfying thunder strike. Yeah, I need friends. I need to get friends. Well, no. I need friends that play games. That's what I'm lacking. I have friends that are good friends, but they don't play games. That won't be enough to get that. Is anything else? That? No, that
Your
won't.
inventory is
That
full.
would take. Alright. How long have I been going? About 50 minutes, okay. I think I can try to keep going to get to the Athens portal. And I think everything here is safe to sell. Oh, wait a minute. That... Hang on to that. Okay.
Best of luck.
Ah,
Alright.
Another traveler would come to the
Yeah.
store.
There is light. I thought there was. I just did not see it. Okay.
Apollo's smile.
Now, this... That is nice. And... Good. Nothing's disabled.
Make light your weighty burden.
I'm gonna hang on to that for at least a little bit.
Safe journey.
But yeah, that having almost 20 health regeneration a second, that's nice. That is very nice. Now, alright, so it's... I'm just... Okay, so yeah, so this is... So up in there is where I fought the Gorgon sisters. See, that's part of the reason why I don't think Medusa was a Gorgon, is she was turned into a Gorgon so she wouldn't have sisters that were, like, actually related to her. I do remember the... Wait, no, that's... That I was just thinking, but no, Medusa was... She was very beautiful, and at one point made a comment, very foolish comment, saying that she was as beautiful or more beautiful than Aphrodite, than Venus, goddess of love and beauty. That did not sit well, because the Olympians, the Titans in general, rather vain. At least some of them. So, can't have that. Curse her to be, so hideous. Yeah, that's... See, it's that story that is why I'm not sure if she actually fully is a Gorgon, because I think that the Gorgons were another, trio of creatures, of monsters that, like, were born that way. They weren't cursed that way. Then also, I have seen references outside of this as Medusa being Queen of the Gorgons. Alright. Sorry, having to juggle a little bit of stuff. Alright. I'm gonna come back down, probably find an edge, and go up on the right. I'm weird, I want to clear out the map. Oh wait, no, hit the Elder. See, and that's part of what's so nice about the torch. It lit him on fire, and then he burned to death before he got to me. It's wonderful. It is just the torch of awesome. And it's not upgraded. At some point, I will upgrade it and make it even better. And isn't it also... Yeah, I'll check it. Yeah, it's only stat requirements, not level requirements. I mean, sure, 96 and 115, you're gonna have some levels on you. But it's like, you know, I could just focus that or something. You know, whatever, it's just such an awesome weapon. Come on. Move. Now. Ooh. Bracers. New bracers. We'll see how those are. Is it just me or did it look like he went flying? Oh, wow. Whoa! So health regeneration and elemental damage boost. That is much nicer. But... wow. That's a huge hit to damage, though. Ooh. Hey, that's a different color green. I'm gonna hang on to it, but I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. Because being able to kill enemies quickly means I don't need as much health. Well, at least not as much health regeneration. Maybe I could throw that onto the other hero. Because he isn't so stacked for elemental. And that's... I mean, okay, yeah, it's also the attack speed, but not... Yeah, that could work. That could work on him. Okay. Is stuff here. Yeah, I want the swamp. Okay, I encountered them here, right? I think that's... Yes. And I haven't come to a swamp yet, so... Yeah, not better than what I already had. No, I doubt it, but I wonder if there's ever a NPC you come across that you can like upgrade your gear by ways other than just sticking talismans or whatever on them. Although, true, those special recipes, those can do stuff. But I don't know if I have what I need for any of those special enchantments. figured going off of the, fire weapon when fighting the guy who is already on fire would be a good idea. Okay, that's right. It's not better than anything I have on this guy, so not gonna use it. So satisfying. I hope I can keep using the torch for a long time. It is just so nice a weapon. Or maybe I could find a better one. That would be awesome too. I don't know if that'll happen though. I mean, it seems to have been curious RNG that allowed this to be made. So a second doesn't seem very likely. But then also yesterday, no, it was longer ago than yesterday, did get, the 2 jaguar claws one after another on the other characters, so I guess it is possible. Unless it was something weird where, no, there's a low chance, but torches can roll with all these affixes and stats. But maybe it'll happen again. Maybe we should look at what there are mods that have, all of the weapons just there so you can at least look through them, if not use them. I assume they would only be accessible through a custom quest, and that's not what this is. So, yeah, that would be interesting. See if there's more torches in there. Is there a legendary torch? Yeah, I know the torch is there. Sorry, chest is there, but I felt like first looking over there just a little bit. Oh, we're to Athens. Because those are human feet. And those are actual humans. I just had a thought into my mind that I'm kind of curious about now. Might THQ Nordic be entertaining the idea of, or actually working on, a Titan Quest 2? I don't know. I mean, clearly I don't know what THQ Nordic is doing. I have no affiliation with them that I could know. But it's more just, would they actually do that? I mean, I'm at least enjoying this. It seems like a number of other people who played the game far more than me in the past enjoyed the Anniversary Edition and the Ragnarok expansion. So just as... is it something they would be like, yeah, we'll see about maybe doing a sequel? Don't know. I cannot guess. Oh. Okay, that didn't break it. But I do like that it's, hey, yeah, here's another green shield for you. Where is this swamp? It is still in Athens, though. I mean, I know there was a swamp somewhere. Hang on. Could that be it? I don't know if that... I don't know what that was like. Or it could be here. I don't know. I'd have to run back. So I think what I'll do is I'll first...
Ah, it's you again. Still alive. I am lucky to be here myself. I thought we Spartans could stop this nightmare on our own. I was a fool. In our pride, we refused help from our...
Okay, there's Lane.
And Sparta suffered a great loss to the monsters. A soldier knows only attack. But I must be more than a soldier. I must be a warrior and learn to temper my pride. It has become clear that the Spartans must unite with all Greeks.
Well, how much has happened since I saw you last? I'm sure the tales you could spin.
That and... oh, goody. I do see up here... oh, wait, no, that's just... I gotta talk to... yeah, I think... yep, there's the board. Yay! Right, and here's somebody...
I beg of you, please help. Our leader is besieged by monsters in the catacombs under the Acropolis. If he...
Hail, warrior. I have the finest goods in Athens. You will find none better.
that may be good for the other guy. I would assume there's a stash somewhere around. I want to see if I can find that. Yeah.
At your service.
For now, these can just stay in here. I'm gonna look if I can find that mod for managing inventory. Because that would make it a lot easier, because then I can just pull from here. Because I'm pretty sure what it would let me do is basically edit all the inventories as though they were one. Or at least have access to all of them at the same time. What the heck? Just, it was small enough and there was a little bit of shimmer to it. I was like, is that a small statue? Alright. There's also back here. I'll quickly check that and then I'll run back. See if I can find the swamp being referenced. Oh, okay. Did not realize that this is how close enemies were. And another green. I'm sure I'm not really using a bow. Don't really need a bow, but now I got it. That, wow, that actually... That's a... oh, okay, notice. But still, that is nice. Man, I'm just, see, yeah, I'm gonna run back, because it's like, you know, I'm finding good gear. Let's see if I can keep getting it. You know, it almost makes me wonder. Is it possible? And I could see this being a mechanic in some games. I'm not sure how much anyone would complain about it. If you had it where, you know, what I should do is just look this up. Is if you had it where the longer you play a game, the better, the more your things improve, the RNG improves. Yeah. This might do it. Okay. According to that, what did it say? Walk in a rebirth. Well, that's so. Go east, northeast, and there will be a bridge, so go across for the Spartan Lost. Okay, so yeah, it's just, I was supposed to go up here and I just, alright. So I'll run back, take care of that, and then I can walk forward. Yeah, I think that would be an okay, as long as it's transparent about it. That the more you play, that the RNG gets a bias towards giving you better and better loot. Yeah, so long as that were known, I don't think anyone would complain. Kind of like how, yeah, it was funny. Over the Black Friday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, there were sales, including on Destiny 2, and I was thinking to maybe pick that up because, you know, it'd be a game to review or whatever, but it's like, you know, that's not exactly my style of game. It's like, there are just some things about it that's like, yeah, it'd be fun, but I don't care about raids. It's like, that seems to be what is part of its thing, is, you know, you can go raiding and such. It's like that, not really my thing. I'm more of a solo player. So, like, then the DLC would matter to me, but at the same time I'd want to have all the DLC. So I figured, I'll wait. If it's on sale now, it'll be on sale in the future as well, with everything. And then, so I decided not to get it, and then it was like 1-2 days later that the whole, hey, you're not giving us the XP we're supposed to be getting. That was discovered. And I did not feel so bad about not getting it. But I was very glad to see that at least some people were making the comment that, look, we don't mind the whole less experience for the stuff. That's fine. It's the fact that you were lying to us, basically. That we were being shown one thing and being given another. And then, what was it? There was something else that they did that was very questionable. That was also discovered around the same time. I just don't remember what. It may have just been that one item that was apparently horrifically overpowered. And it just, you know, one of those, this is not being managed well. So yeah, I do not feel bad about not having gotten Destiny 2. It's just not exactly my game, and they apparently are bungling it some. Hopefully they'll work stuff out, though. Because, I mean, you never want a game, especially when it's mechanical stuff like that, so it can be changed. You never want to see a game suffer for that reason, because that's, in theory, something that can be fixed easily. Well, I shouldn't say easily, but can be fixed. The fix is accessible, it's approachable. It's not like, to name another modern game, Wolfenstein 2, which the problems I have with it, the negatives I got from it, are things that you couldn't do so easily. You couldn't make those changes so easily. Because some of them were, the story itself isn't that engaging for me. And it is interesting to see some people talk about how, oh, it's so, you know, cool and interesting story, how you're fighting to, you know, a rebellion against the Nazis in America. Isn't that interesting? It's like, the thing is that that's only, as a concept that might be interesting, but in the game, it really wasn't to me. I was like rescuing, starting a rebellion to kick the Nazis out of America. As a concept, yes, that can be very interesting, but I just never felt it delivered on in the game. It's like, because it was never really a...
Hail! You there?
Yes.
A human faces.
I don't need to... Oh, I do. Do need to run this back. Yeah, it just never connected to me, because it's like, I'm not seeing America suffering. You really don't show that. Except for the resistance fighters who are suffering, but it's also... That's not many people, and many of them are also kicking ass on their own, so it's like, do they really need you? I mean, yes, they do, because it's a video game, you're the only one that's really competent. But still, it's just... I haven't played New Order for a while. But one thing I seem to recall about it was...
You were in the... You saw them?
Was that you actually, go to a concentration camp. That's where you rescue Seth Roth. You rescue everyone else there, though. It's like, okay, this is actually an investment here. It's like, okay, I am seeing their suffering and I'm doing something about it. That works. That connects. It never felt like that happened for me in New Colossus. Or was something, it was being done to me, but it's like, well, I'm the hero. I expect to be taking a lot of hits, but then I turn around and deal more back. That's what I expect. NPCs are basically people I should be protecting. And the whole, one of the things that I liked that they included in New Order was him getting tattooed when he was going into the concentration camp. Just because that is a significant portion about the Holocaust, was that tattoo, because it was diminishing and degrading to the people. That all you are is this number to them. And that's horrible. That is absolutely horrible and completely dehumanizing. That's what its purpose was. So for him to get that, it's just showing how that is still the idea here. But also how he then later actually cuts it off as well. So it's, that is... Because for me, I know some of that history. I don't know as much as some. Maybe not as much as I should. But it's just... That had meaning to me. And I never felt that meaning in New Colossus. But Destiny 2, it sounds like... I haven't heard any issues for story. I haven't played it, so I don't know. But it has mechanical issues. But those can be easy to iron out when they're just... Yeah, we need to fix the UI here so that it shows you the right amount of experience, and here we need to make sure that the numbers are actually balanced. That's not so bad. Alright. Hour 14, so yeah, this can stop, and... Let me see, so this... I just want to pull up a count. So this will be the December 30th stream-ish. It's obviously not a stream, it's pre-recorded. And then January 6th should be the next live one. Yeah. I should be able to do that live because I'll be back, I'll be here, and I don't think I'll be busy. Hope not. Oh wait, depending on how something else goes, I might be busy, but it shouldn't stop me from being able to do this. I hope. We'll find out, and of course I'll say if it is a problem. Alright, see you next time.